Want to send it?
Yeah. Welcome to the second aPODcalypse.
Welcome.
Episode 12. I know y'all missed me, you beautiful scholarly bastards, B-Rad says. I did.
Yeah, we did.
We're scholars.
We are college graduates.
We're college graduates. I'm about to start grad school. We did miss you, B-Rad.
Nice.
I missed the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost committed violence against myself.
I almost self-harmed to the highest extent.
No reason to live besides this. No, that's not true, but I really do find a lot of joy and purpose in talking about these with friends and strangers.
Yeah, it's very fun. It does feel like, it always feels like, oh no.
I think that's fine.
Is this correct?
Yeah.
Excellent.
The
gamer chair.
The game. What's it called again?
Coif.
Coif.
I think.
Not a hallberg is something else.
A hallberg is something else,
Okay.
I think. But, no, you might be right, honestly. A coif, this is like a chainmail coif. I think a coif is made out of cloth, typically.
Okay.
But usually the night before the podcast, I feel like I have like a school thing due the next day. It's kind of a bummer, but
Oh no.
whenever we get down into the nitty-gritty of it, I feel excited. Yeah.
I knew we had the pod today, but I almost forgot that I had to read the chapter until about 4.
Yeah.
And then I was just like super sweaty after skating, sitting naked at the house I'm dog sitting at on the floor, just like listening to the book, and that was Gnostic as well.
Yeah. Did you record that skate pic, that video today?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks.
He landed a kickflip today.
Yeah.
And yeah, this shit is awesome. Thank you, B-Rad. Jacob made this.
Yeah, I don't know, it took me hours, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
It was part of my Halloween costume as Sir Gawain, or just Gawain actually,
Yeah.
because he didn't officially get knighted in the movie, The Green Knight.
Really?
No, I don't think so. Well, at the beginning, they're like, when will you become a knight? And he's like, soon.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps being a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. And then Meg redeemed the call of the salmon. Alright. Oh, what are you today?
I'm the trackless step.
Damn.
I thought that was some low-hanging fruit, but
That's some good fruit.
some hangers.
I'm Artie Bucco from The Sopranos.
I don't know enough about him to know who that is.
He's a real wiry, like, mousy kind of guy that I like a lot.
Is he the guy that died recently?
No. I like that guy a lot, too.
R.I.P. that guy.
R.I.P. that guy. This was a good chapter.
Yeah.
It features our favorite guy, or my favorite guy.
Yeah.
Yair Urskiotha.
Breaker of Chains.
Breaker
No, wait, that's Breaker of Chains and Mother of Dragons.
Oh, yeah. We're working with the breaker of horses. Raper of men.
Most violent of all men. Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea.
Yeah. Exactly.
Stroker of the Horsecock.
Maybe. Do you want to read us the intro? Or talk about the intro?
Yeah. Why don't you do the first one, I'll do the second one.
Okay, I'm going to take this off, though, because it's going to make my head hurt. It's heavy. Oh!
Heavy lies the coif.
Heavy lies the coif. Alright, so, chapter 12, the Giannotti Step.
Bull.
The intro is, I have explained how Maithanet yoked the vast resources of the 1,000 temples to ensure the viability of the Holy War. I have described and outlined the first steps taken by the Emperor to bind the Holy War to his imperial ambitions. I have attempted to reconstruct the initial reaction of the Kisharim and Shaima from their correspondence with the Padiraja of Netsifon. And I have even mentioned the hated consult, of whom I can at long last speak without fear of ridicule. That's kind of cool, because at this point everybody knows the consult is real AF.
Mm-hmm.
I have spoken, in other words, almost exclusively, and this is the important part, I think, exclusively of powerful factions and their impersonal ends. What of vengeance? What of hope? Against the frame of competing nations and warring faiths, how did these small passions come to rule the Holy War? My thoughts on that were... I believe we talk a lot about how we only really hear about the high and mighty folks.
Right.
And it just points to, especially whenever, at the time that a communist is writing this, he's very, I don't know, disillusioned with the Holy War, I guess. He's been officially, abandoned and betrayed by Kellis, so he has a real keen look on, fuck, my brain really isn't working, but...
He's a cynic.
He's cynical. The Holy War sucks.
And he and Nair are kind of the only ones that know what actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So
yeah.
what are the small passions that stood out?
How did these small passions come to rule the Holy War?
Vengeance and hope? Is that what they're talking about?
I think so. I don't know.
Vengeance for Nair to help drive, he was the general? I can't remember. Master of war.
Yeah.
And he was in it for himself, besides liking to kill people, I think.
Yeah.
And just to go on a little buddy comedy adventure with Kellis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a Disney adventure.
Yeah, hope for all of the religious zealots, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's up, Madness and Jeffy? Welcome. We're back. How was y'all's week? Week off. Jeffro.
The second quote from the introduction to the chapter is from Sejanus, the book Scholars 3621. I gotta make sure I get those numbers right.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tractate. Though he consorts with man, woman, and child, though he lays with beasts and makes a mockery of his seed, never shall he be as licentious as the philosopher who lays with all things imaginable.
It's pompous.
Yeah. And
suck my tractate.
I want to read a quote that I got from Bakker's blog, The 3-Pound Brain, because a brain weighs about 3 pounds.
Like cabbage.
Depending, yeah, like the watery cabbage.
Yeah.
And we all know he's the philosophy PhD without dissertation guy. No, just I think it's great to see people decrying their own professions and passions. But he went definition of the day: philosophy. A form of ethereal waste known to clog the head. See pornography, conceptual forms of. Just funny, because pornography, he likens the sexual kind of element to philosophy that Sejanus does as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense.
And just that these books are so full of philosophy, and also it's kind of I don't know, what is the purpose of philosophy when everybody's getting raped, murdered by aliens?
Mm.
The death of meaning is a big theme in these books, so I have read, although I would not have gleaned that at all from reading them myself, I don't think. Yeah.
We get into a lot of the logos, which I feel has a lot to do with the death of meaning.
Yeah.
Or at least meaning in general. That'll be interesting to talk about that. And Madness says he riffs off the Devil's Dictionary with that TPB stuff. Right.
The Devil's Dictionary, do you know what that is?
No.
It's like a sarcastic or satirical dictionary that has definitions that that are funny.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a political version of that, an anarchist one called the Contradictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should see if anything is worth reading on here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I got that for sure. Let's see.
Oh, damn.
Who else is saying stuff?
Jeff says, I'm gonna wait till it gets here, but Salt King has crafted something horribly beautiful. Excellent. And then Madness says Sugar King is on his way.
Oh, so Ambrose Bierce is the definition. We haven't had our coffee yet. We're still working on it, so wait till we sharpen up, maybe.
Yeah.
Or we will be hopefully accelerating towards mania.
Yeah, we gotta get manic.
Not the definition, the author of the Devil's Dictionary. Probably co-authored with the devil himself.
Yeah.
So,
So what's going on in this chapter here? What do
you
we
know,
have here?
not a lot of plot, a lot of character development. Just kidding, there's actually plot and character development. And
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably the...
It's a long-ass chapter.
Quite, yeah. I'd say this is maybe the most, I don't know, the center of all of the book. The ideological center of the book.
Yeah.
Like you said, it brings up the logos. I think it lays out his philosophical argument, like, pretty much straight up.
Yeah, he just lays it all out because he basically resigns himself to kind of having to be honest.
Yeah.
Or Kellis does.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be honest to Nayor in order to even fuck with him at all.
Yeah.
Which I love. Like, I at first, I thought that Kellis couldn't read Nayor's face. Which I told you, and I think that that's incorrect. But, I don't know, I think that would be cool. Like, Nayor is just, like, unreadable. And in a lot of ways, maybe he's not unreadable per this chapter, but he is very good at skirting Kellis's shenanigans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jeff, this is chapter 12, the Giannotti step, where, 12. Nayor and Kellis are making their... Well, actually, Nayor discovers Kellis.
Yeah, making their way downtown, sucking hogs, and they're homebound.
Yeah.
Well, it's transitioned to early spring, which I just noticed right now. So I guess it's not 4110. Which was a great year at the vineyards.
In the year of the Tusk.
In the year of the Tusk, our Lord, the Tusk. What is the sign? I forgot, but is this the sign?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my first impression reading this the first time was that Nayor was so overly paranoid. Which now I don't think he is at all. I think that he actually is kind of doesn't hold himself back as much as he should.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time I read this, I was like, this dude's got some issues, like, just that he has issues, yeah.
Right.
But
he's right on.
But
he's like completely sane.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. He's pretty sane.
Yeah. Arguably one of the sanest people, at least so far.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably.
Arguably, one could argue.
Yeah. Well,
there's some funny lines in this. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you wanted to start it off from their first encounter, is Nayor sees, he's just looking around a bunch of dead bodies that had been all killed by Shrank. They kind of described the Shrank weaponry, which I was a fan of.
This fucked me up whenever I first read it.
I
was like, damn. And then I had an existential crisis because of how we interact with animals in our world. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, fair enough. But, yeah, I just picture them without weapons most of the time.
But
just
they're,
in my head.
Like, semi-intelligent. They can use... They're like fucking orcs.
Yeah, that's my thought exactly. They had 2 black arrows that were fired from close range. One dude is pierced by 2 black arrows. There's people in rigor.
Yeah. I underline that.
But this is physical rigor mortis.
Right.
I'm not sure your feelings on that version of the word.
I think it's still good.
Okay. But
it helps us understand the academic sense. Sorry.
You're good. And just the nastiness of their weaponry, they continue later. They have one has a bone bow, or had. Everything's dead.
Right.
It laid curled up like a dog. There was also somebody, a Shrank killed by a Shrank weapon, which was an iron axe, black iron, with a ring of human teeth set into the handle of leathered human skin. It's like some Ed Gein type of thing.
So brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I can't imagine. Like, oh, it's so fucked up that they use human skin. And then I was like, this is like a leather chair.
Oh, yeah.
With leather all over the place.
My shoes are made out of cow and rubber.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh.
It's a world of brutality.
It's a world of brutality we have. Madness says, rode all the way to Adunyani, spelling, from Atrothal to Skilvendi territory. Naor, poor guy, finds Moenga's son, another Dunyan, on Skioth's barrow. Yes, an astute summary.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Srank Leathersmith, Jeff says.
Yeah, that's true. Who's making this stuff?
Right.
The Urshrank? Maybe they've got like a...
Papa Urshrank. The Leather Workers Guild.
A merchant class?
Yeah.
Yeah, a guild of guaranteeing fair pay for
yeah,
Shrank.
for the Shrank Leather Workers Union.
Yeah. Okay, that's my new... Yeah. Skin handles, is that a penis reference, Madness?
Probably, maybe.
I wonder if Shrank have penis bones, which is a common thing in many mammals, although humans are not one of them.
Maybe.
At least I am not one. Unfortunately.
A couple things that I underlined right off the rip were that Naor notices the unkept silhouette of a vulture. So is the vulture unkept, like it had bedhead? You know?
Maybe
a disheveled and confused vulture. That's what I thought. And then also he does some scrutinizing, which Bakker loves the word scrutiny in my view.
Yeah, I swear I've said get scrutinized before.
Yeah, and so he's noticing, like he said, so the first people that he finds that are dead were wounded, then murdered. Let's see, a manner common to the strain, gutted, then strangled with their own bowel.
So
that was
metal.
Yeah, this is like an introduction to the brutality of the Strank. What outland fools, and from some city, no less. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Nair's disdain for the Outlanders. Some city, no less.
The city folk.
Yeah. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. We're good. And then we find the survivor. Oh, but, okay, so he crests this barrow in the midst of his dead forefathers. In part, he was outraged at the sacrilege, but he was more frightened by far. Naor experiences so much fear. Right?
Yeah, and that's a big theme in this chapter. Him refusing to admit his fear, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that for sure too, that he, like, probably the first emotion he shows, because it's like a scrutiny isn't an emotion, but is fear. He shows fear for this bizarre situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's dead Shrank, there's dead humans, dead city weirdos, you know, urban, what are they called? I don't know. Carpetbaggers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we've got a lot of chat that I just... Druid, first time catching this. Nice to meet you.
What's up?
Thanks for coming. Truth Shines as well.
Welcome.
Ooh, there's Clearly Casuals posted horseswords.com. I can't tell if that's a joke or real.
Probably not real. Let's see what he said earlier, too. He said something. He said, y'all scrimps ever visited the Horse Sword website to get all your horse weaponry?
No, I haven't.
I will look at that. And non-man capes our faces. Oh, shit,
I think
right.
that isn't that Syl has a, like...
Yeah,
back in the first apocalypse, or the Kuno... What is it? Kuno and Koroi Wars?
Yeah.
Cape of Faces.
Mm-hmm. And then B-Ride says, that makes sense, not madness. Jeffy says, off topic, are non-men evolved canine because Shrank have dog dicks?
I was unaware. But,
I didn't know that.
Do they have the knot situation going on?
I don't know.
The lipstick? The knotted lipstick?
The knotted, canted lipstick horn? The greased?
We'll have to do some, biology work.
Yeah. Alright. let's gather our thoughts here.
Yeah. So, Nair is scared, and he sees some motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like meditating in the sun, sitting on top of the barrow of his father's burial mound, basically.
Yeah.
Literally.
So he's already on some shenanigan shit.
Yeah. And I was like, does he know already what he's doing? Like, does Kellis know that he's sitting on Nair's dad's hog?
I don't know. I mean, it would seem like that, but how would he know?
Right. So they talk about it a little bit later when it breaks down how they, like, fast forward, like, what's it called? Flashback, but they speed through it, how Kellis got his little posse of Aduniani men from Atrathau.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, shows up in Atrathau after the whole Lewith thing back in episode 1.
R.I.P. Lewith.
Yep. Big sweetie, dog man. But Kellis shows up, meets, I guess, the second and whatever more humans he's ever met, and he's like, oh damn, I can yoke up these people just as easily as Lewith. Like, humanity is our children to me. Mm-hmm. And so he gets his cult, basically.
Right.
What
does he call them?
The Adunyani.
Yeah.
The little Dunyan.
Yeah. I have a question about that.
Send it.
No, it's off.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, he has them. They travel southward, and I think they're pretty much just like cannon fodder, battle armor for him, so they can take some of the damage and, I don't know, die. Give him a couple more seconds to react.
Right.
Everybody fucking dies, but I think that, and then he ends up at the barrow. I think that he could probably have been able to tell from context in his big wrinkly brain, Dunyan brain, that this barrow was the burial site of an important person, like a chieftain, and that maybe there's a chance that people that cared about the chieftain or related to the chieftain might show up, but I don't think he knew that Nair would show up or who Nair was until they locked eyes. Right. It says when they locked eyes, they both saw Moangus in each other's eyes. So
I thought that was beautiful.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Do you want to send your question now, or is it for later in the chapter?
It can be now because you just mentioned it. Why? How did he call them the little Dunyan or whatever the fuck, and not like blow the Dunyan spot up? You know. Mm-hmm. Like, did they refer to themselves as the Adunyani, the little Dunyan? Because they'd be like, I wonder why we're called the Dunyan. What are the Dunyan? And then that would like invalidate his whole fucking mission, right? Well, they all die.
Trying to keep it secret.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they all die.
Mm-hmm. I think that it says they called themselves the Little Dunyan, so I assume that he knew they were all going to die, so his secret wouldn't end up getting out.
So they would have had to start calling themselves that after they left Atrathau.
Yeah.
Because if word spread in Atrathau that they were Dunyan, he wouldn't have been able to keep that under wraps, probably, in the whole city, you know? So anyway.
No, that's a really good point. Madness is helping out, too.
Yeah, we got a lot of chat.
Madness pointed out that Dunyan means truth in ancient Kunayaric. So maybe Kellis just said that he was the truth. Like, he wasn't necessarily describing his own people from their isolated cult, but he's just being a messiah figure, prophet figure. Yeah. And it's like, I'm truth man, I'm Bible man. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we're going to be Bible men Jr. Yeah. So, I don't know. Jeff says, though, like, might have spilled the beans about their isolated city, which, again, they all died, so I don't know. Yeah. I just assume that however it went down, Kellis had it calculated.
For sure. I mean, he definitely did. It's funny, Jeff says, who would they tell?
They mom? No, I don't know.
I don't know, yeah. What else we got? We got the little ordeal. Okay. Oh, what's up, Kelfron, by the way?
Yeah.
See, we got a lot going on here. What's up? The meat must. Oh yeah. So Druid. I wonder if you play a druid in World of Warcraft. He said, "I wonder if any ordeal men ate shrank penises during the march." Oh, of course. I hope so.
The forbidden hot dog.
Yeah, the meat must be consumed. Someone had to eat it. Yeah, it's the most potent part.
It probably has the most meat madness in it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's that what is it? Second chakra, I think. Sacral chakra.
The sacral chakra. Yeah, the shrank sacral chakra. All right. Okay. Yes. One thing. So some characterization. The survivor sat cross-legged on the barrow summit, his forearms resting against his knees, looking like a real fucking jackass. His head bowed beneath the shining disk of the sun. That's just some cool imagery, all the stained glass portraits of Jesus or saints, with the sun behind their head. The halo. He's already got a halo going on before he even knows that he needs to be a messiah.
Astute man over here.
Yeah, man. You know me, dude. So smart. To keep a secret till he met Nayor. I don't know.
We may never know.
The world may never know. Not even with this newfangled space telescope that they have.
Oh, yeah.
Nayor is still afraid. He says, so the narrator says, "Yet with horror Nayor thought, I know this man." He's so scared.
Yeah, he's haunted by Moengus.
Mm-hmm. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. His whole story is very sad.
Yeah, I don't know, it kind of is I feel like a driving force in Nair's life is wanting to make his daddy proud.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a lot of other people.
So much dad energy.
Yeah. But yeah, he wanted to be, a recognized tribesman, a good warrior. They go through one of the rites.
Dude, there's so many cool, what the fuck? Yeah. I want to have a whole series on the Skilvendi.
Yeah.
So much. This chapter is so fucking long and there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, we can keep cruising too.
Okay.
Because it would be nice to get through a lot of it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just cursed by what had happened with Moengus. Mm-hmm. What he did because of Moengus.
Yeah. So, I guess to kind of if somebody is watching that hasn't seen or hasn't read the books, so Nayor finds Kellis, and Kellis is Moengus's son, mm-hmm. and they're like, oh shit, and then Nayor brings him to the encampment. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Nayor describes him as a nightmare made flesh, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I really feel that way about the Dunyain.
Mm-hmm.
They suck.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's Nayor's in a position sort of that a commune will be in, where he's the only one that knows the consult is this big bad, and Nair's the only one that knows that the Dunyain are super dangerous.
It's really agonizing during being a reader. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I think that
especially the reread.
Yeah.
Because, well, at least for me.
Yeah.
Because you just know that these people are oblivious for a long time.
Mm-hmm. For so long.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, this is some funny shit right here. It troubled Nayor hearing his wives refer to the Outlander in this way, because Anisi, who is Nayor's main boo, she said, I asked him, and then Nayor said, him. Or he thinks to himself, him. It troubles Nayor hearing his wives refer to the Outlander in this way, his way, as if they'd somehow penetrated his skull and practiced thievery. The fine practice of thievery.
Skull thievery.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah.
He could feel the itch of the man's presence across the dark encampment, a terror from beyond the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Which points to Nayor's just... He is so larger than life in all of his ways. Like, he's extremely smart. He's extremely, like, sensitive. He's intuitive. He's, like, unbelievably strong.
Mm.
He is this kind of demonic, extraordinary character.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he had told Anisi about what had happened. Like, Kellis told Anisi about how he got there.
Mm-hmm.
And since Nair had encountered Kellis, it says the one thought had terrorized the movements of Nair's soul, and the thought was to use the son to find the father. If this man followed Moengus, then he knew where to find him, meaning Moengus.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens later in this chapter. They set out on their
little voyage.
Dumb and Dumber, like, road trip.
I know, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Their interactions are really fun. So several weeks are passing before mowing. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's... So the Nayor and Anisi speak real quick. And then it goes to the memory, right? To Nayor's memory of Moengus.
Yeah, flashback. He was 16 when Moengus was brought to camp as a slave.
Nayor had only counted 16 years.
Well, yeah, so... no reason to split hairs, but I was just wondering, does this mean, like, he learned to count, and then he counted to 16, so he'd be, like, 21? Or is he just...
I think he's 16.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
probably
because
16.
he's got to do the rite of the spring wolves.
Right. So metal sounding.
I know. Okay, so they get... Moengus shows up. He scurries in the same manner as the other slaves, but something's off about him. Several weeks passed before Moengus actually spoke to him, and he chose the moment well. The night of Nayor's return from the rite of the spring wolves. Nayor is reeling from the loss of blood. The wolf's head is bound to his girdle. He's got some pulsing wounds, and apparently the rite didn't go quite as well as he would have liked it to. But Moengus says, "You've killed the wolf," and Nayor's feeling shame because it didn't go as it should have happened. Which I want to know, like, what the fuck happened.
Well, he's reeling from loss of blood, so that's what I'm thinking something.
Like, do you think he had to, like, kill a wolf with his bare hands or something?
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, maybe it's like a weird Spartan, like, weeding out the weak thing.
But if every male Skilvendi had to kill a wolf with their bare hands, that would be crazy.
It seems like a lot of wolves.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, Madness says he tripped and the wolf ran into a wall. Yeah, like, Nayor didn't even kill him at all. The Nayor just, like, or the wolf just fucking, like, died. By the architects. Just on accident.
It was, intended by the people.
Yeah, Jeff says maybe the chief's sons. That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe it's just the most important Skilvendi.
Druid said a little bit back.
Yeah.
I love the fact that in a setting with rape, combat, sexual aliens, the Dunyain, which are pretty much just smart humans, still manage to be equally as vile, but in a completely different manner.
Oh, for sure.
And Madness commented on it. No bottom on clumsy, stupid, evil. Yeah, and obviously spoilers for the end if we need to say that for the bajillionth time, but
yeah.
They really complement each other when they combine forces into the Dune Salt at the end. Yeah, I guess that Nair coming back all fucked up and, like, no blood. He doesn't have enough blood. Feeling like whatever he did wrong, he found sanctuary in the eyes of Moengus. Moengus saying, "You've killed the wolf."
You've killed the wolf. He repeats it a bunch of times.
Yeah, so that's... My guess is, like, you did what you had to do, right?
He's just gassing him up a little.
Yeah.
Do you think you have killed a wolf is like... Cause he repeats it a couple times. Does it have any more importance to Naor as a character in general across the span of the series? You have killed the wolf.
I think maybe, because it was... He accomplished the objective, no matter what the method was.
Yeah.
And he's about to do that in this time jump flashback where Moangus asks him what does he want, and he says, I want to be chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes about getting manipulated into murdering his dad, and he becomes chieftain. He might have just wanted to, like, grow up and be, like, inherit the tribe, I guess, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think you could put some extra meaning onto the, he had killed the wolf. You have killed the wolf.
Yeah. You've killed a wolf.
Yeah.
I've never killed a wolf.
I don't think I've seen a wolf in, went to a wolf sanctuary in Minnesota once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like killing the wolf would either be getting clean from doing drugs or graduating from college. Graduating from college is a lot harder than quitting drugs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say than killing a wolf.
No. I just mean metaphorically.
Yeah.
Madness is more scared of large cats.
Feline.
Dude, yeah, big cat is way more likely to kill you. Like, they'll just fucking get you. They're brutal.
I mean, little cats are pretty...
They would kill you if they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolves can eat up to 20 pounds of, I guess, meat, because they're not eating anything else in one sitting, and then they only have to eat once a week.
Pretty cool.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. That does sound kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, comment your killing of the wolf if we want to get real authentic and, what's it called? When you get close to someone?
Intimate?
Yeah.
Genuine, intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable. What's your wolf?
Yeah, I don't know. We both stopped doing drugs, so that's probably a big one for us.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he killed the wolf. And we can kind of just see what people say, but as we continue along...
Well, I wanted to say...
Yeah. They
had stew later.
They stewed it up, yeah.
They had wild onion and rabbit.
And then they beat the shit out of him. He just beats the literal shit out of him.
Yeah.
That is so wild, dude.
Is this the one where... No, I think it's him beating Kellis later, where it says he beat him until his bowels loosened.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't even realize that was possible.
Well, that's the crazy thing about the Dunyan is I bet Moangus was like, okay, now is the time where I'm going to loose my bowels to make this more authentic. To make me seem more fucking human.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing.
Yeah.
No more Kiri, no more of that good, but I do sniff this Kiri that's snuff tobacco. Although I decided I'm going to quit the Kiri when I run out.
Really?
Yeah, because I want to be better at athletics. Just have better cardio. That's so funny because it's like I just want to be a better skateboarder. Yeah. But
you think quitting nicotine will make you a better skateboarder? Well,
yeah, just because like I sniff a lot of this and it like affects lung capacity. I mean, I'm not smoking, but I feel it in my lungs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we'll see. I might be grumpy, but I'll get the gum.
Yeah. That sounds good. That's cool. That's exciting.
Thanks. So don't worry, I'll still be sniffing this on stream for a little while. Because everybody cares. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. We got an age reveal.
Oh, yeah, age reveal.
Madness. Still longboards every day at 34. Very cool. I'm actually 33.
Shredder.
Which is arguably young as well. But just wanted to say, because I'm curious about our listener demographic.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then Druid points out that, so Madness says chains him up and treats him like a shrink would, which is, he does say that, right? And Yeah, Druid says probably a fetish. Video game says he's 12. I feel like that's a joke. I feel like that's got to be a joke, but if it's not, that's okay.
He's one of the 12-year-olds that watched Men with us at the movie theater.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Manus says Kellis does admit that he shit himself on purpose. Yeah, exactly. Jeffro is not 12.
Druid said that something's probably his fetish. I'm not sure if it's talking about the getting chained up and beaten part or the shitting part.
There's room for lots of stuff in this world. Yeah.
Combo.
Hey, consensual is consent. Consent is good. Mm-hmm. One should have consent.
Crucial.
40 here. Ancient. Common sense. That's not ancient.
Ancient non-man erratic vibes.
So we get some interesting insight about violence in the world here. Mm-hmm. So Nair gives 2 beatings. And it says, only years afterwards would Nair understand how those beatings had bound him to the Outlander. Violence between men fostered an unaccountable intimacy. Nair, which is interesting, like, I don't know, unaccountable intimacy is just a weird way to say that. Nair, like, who am I accountable to? I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that.
Is it that you can't account for the reason why it makes you intimate?
Maybe, yeah, that's right. Not like I have an accountability to somebody, but you can't account for the... Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Unfathomable, perhaps.
Unfathomable, yes. Nair had survived enough battlefields to understand that. By punishing Moengus out of desperation, Nair had demonstrated need. You must be my slave. You must belong to me. And by demonstrating need, he'd opened his heart and had allowed the serpent to enter. So there's so much there. One, there's like serpent entering, which is kind of like penetrative or something.
Oh, right.
Because it's all very homoerotic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a really sad demonstration of like what masculinity is in this book, and also what like society teaches us in this world. I think like to demonstrate need can be perceived, or it was taught to me, like if you demonstrate need, then you're showing that you're vulnerable or weak or something, and
right.
People can't be counted on or whatever. So I don't know. I just think it's good commentary on the world.
Very cool. There is a nonfiction book called War is a Force That Gives Us Meaning by, I think his name is Chris Hedges. The sentence that you said, again, I'll read it. Violence between men fostered an unaccountable intimacy. Made me think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how different it is from other things, but soldiers and veterans, often that's like the main identifying element of their life or of their self, even, from till they die. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense if you're going to fucking war. Like, mm-hmm. that will change you. That is a defining event, experience, everything like that, and something that other people that have not been to war can't relate to.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me, and something that is foreign to me personally.
Yeah. Well, like, and I feel like there's if you look at sensory experience on like a tiered spectrum, the higher the intensity, the more memorable, or the more like it gets lodged into your nervous system or something. So mm-hmm. like something like violence or trauma, like with the non-men, it really gets up in you.
Yeah, it'll get you.
It'll get you. It'll Neil get you. Let's see. There's so much stuff. Meg said we have reached the explicit part of the podcast. I don't even know when that happened, but you're definitely right. And then Madness says violence between men does fuck with intimacy. Fathers and sons, brothers and friends. Yeah, absolutely. I thought And then Druid says violence, intimacy, and control. Skilvendi, Consul, and Dunye. Damn. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Epic, dude.
Epic.
Jeff says, it's sad to say, but I relate to
Probably Nayer.
Nayer's ideal about the people because of a common conception of black people and our culture in the modern world.
Very interesting perspective.
Yeah, if you want to speak on that more, I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Manis says that he and Jeff used to talk about this on the TSA cast, which is probably our, our father pod, if you will.
Yeah.
I've only listened to, I think, the first 2 episodes, so I'm a bad fan, but I do want to say shout out TSA cast, because they were doing this 6+ years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe it's on SoundCloud.
We should ask them to come on one time or something.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Neighbor is a great autocorrect for Nayer.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Jeff, are you like in the grocery store right now or something? I feel like you're always up to some good, chore. Doing some good choring.
Virad says, it was either the enemy or me going home at night in that desert over the pond. Are you a vet, Virad?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Going home at night in the desert over the... Yeah, it must be. I feel like maybe he's mentioned that before.
I spaced it, so...
Yeah. You two just made my day.
Glad to hear it.
Assuming you're talking about somebody else. Just kidding. No, yeah. I mean, Nayor, like... I don't know. He's such a mirror to all like a whole spectrum of men or manliness or masculinity, because he experiences such a vast array of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
He has like all these homoerotic feelings, all this shame, but also all this power and confidence. But it's all like fucking. They all invalidate one another, and it's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a really good. I mean, you know. He's dope.
We like him.
We love him. Oh, Jeff says he's playing Death Stranding. Hell yeah, it's a weird ass game.
And B-Rad,
cool. Many moons ago.
Yeah, is a vet. I'm glad you made it back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There's a link in the chat to the TSA cast.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
We'll get to see how they pronounce things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of listened to that. Are they still doing their podcast? We can talk about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. We are definitely in our own world.
Hell yeah.
For better or worse.
That's awesome.
They get into this talk about the trackless step.
Oh, yeah. So good. Does Chef go ahead? Yes, Chef.
No, that's... dramatic pause after that.
It's a lot.
There's many tracks, though... The step is also trackless.
Yeah.
They kind of explain Nayer's understanding of it now. And then there's also a dialogue with Kellis later. Oh, no, rather, with Moengus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, the dialogue with Moengus is right here.
Yeah.
Moengus is starting to teach him, starting to crack open 16-year-old Nayer's mind and eventually take over him, possess him, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Or as he claims, maybe that's deflecting blame. But I see a lot of cult leader traits in these, in this chapter from the Dunyin.
Mm-hmm.
Isolating people... Obviously, being a great orator,
mm-hmm.
being able to share ideas, but also kind of answering questions without answering them.
Yeah.
Saying things that the person doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good response or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, that way of interpreting it popped up into my Johnson. Some of the stuff that Moengus says to Nayer is, so if all things men do are journeys, then I ask you, why are the ways of the Skilvendi the customs that bind what men do, like mountain passes? Why do they ride the same trails over and over again when the ways to their destination are without number? Nayer had been told that the ways of the people were as immutable and as sacred as the ways of the Outlanders were fickle and degenerate. They're sacred, and Outlanders are profane. The city folk. Mm-hmm. The urban elite, perhaps. But why? Weren't these ways simply different trails used to reach similar destinations? What made the Skilvendi way, the only track an upright man might follow? And how could this be when the trackless steppe dwelt, as the memorialist said, in all things Skilvendi? It sounds like he's kind of having like a mushroom trip, because he goes, how strange it all seemed. The hilarity of skin dyes made from menstrual blood. The uselessness of the prohibitions against bedding virgins unwitnessed. Against right-hand butchering of cattle. Against defecating in the presence of horses. So, I just love these nuggets of Skilvendi culture.
I know, we get so much Skilvendi lore. The hilarity of skin dyes made from menstrual blood. I mean, that seems pretty, like, makes sense.
Yeah, might seem like the least strange one to me.
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe the right-hand butchering of cattle. I don't know their relationship to cattle. I know
Do you
they're horse
butcher
people.
the right hand of the cow?
First.
Also, we got like a chat that I'm not sure is if it's a bot or not. It might not be a bot. What is it? What's happening here? Sweet Bloody Bat? How do you invite a dinosaur to a cafe? T-Rex? You remember to smile about dark times? Remember that person, life and stuff? We all need something to hold on to. You're not alone.
Thanks, Sweet Bloody Bat.
Thanks, Sweet Bloody Bat. You're a real sweet bloody bat.
I'm going to shout out 988, the new suicide and crisis hotline just dropped recently.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can just dial 988.
Oh, without anything else?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Without anything else. Just want to let you know, though, there's some controversy because if you seem to be a threat to yourself or others, they will forward your number to 911, which might send the cops.
Yeah.
So, at least on my sphere of Instagram, a lot of people are shitting on it because they say it's just going to be 911.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do to keep yourself alive, man. I do not give a shit. There's
Absolutely.
definitely many resources to go to that don't call the police, but if you're worried about how the cops might treat you, but talk to somebody. Do what you need to do to stay alive.
That's right.
Nair
needs some mental health help.
Yeah, he needs somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy that he emotionally opened up to just he realizes led him to do all sorts of things that he is ultra ashamed of.
Yeah.
Obviously. But his mind is broken open. He hears from Moangus, you do stand apart from your tribe.
Mm-hmm. He's really gassing him up.
Totally. He explains that the Dunyain are students of the Logos, the shortest way. Of all the world, we alone have awakened from the dread slumber of custom. We alone. I just want to say, connection to Dune. Mahdi, not Muad'Dib, but Mahdi is the name of a fabled, prophet that is Paul, but the Bene Gesserit seated with the... What the fuck is it called? The Prime Directive, basically. They programmed all these planets to have these myths and religious myths and legends so that they could be useful in the future.
Right.
And they taught the Fremen about the Mahdi, which in Arabic, or I guess in Muslim faith, I believe, it means the shortest way, or shortening of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in Buddhism, the Dharma is sometimes talked about as the shortest path, quickest path, or whatever.
Nice.
And it's interesting. The Logos has so many connections in my mind with, like, the teachings of the Buddha, and with my current perspective on religion in general. There's so much. I don't know. There's so many parallels between the way that the Dunyin think about what it means to exist, and the way that early Theravadan Buddhism is presented in its original text. There's just a lot to be said about that, but I can't really think about it too much.
No, for sure. It made me think of the little I know of Buddhism as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard for me to combine the desire to manipulate everyone with the clear awareness of being awake for the Dharma, you know?
It's like the obsession with like wanting to find the way or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Kelpfron said the trackless steppe is the kind of insight you could go nuts over as a 16-year-old. Mo knew how to tailor his message.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Madness also says the golden path. Yep, this is what I thought of too. Many Dune things. And I think the Dunedain, well, the name I believe is similar to Dunedain from the Lord of the Rings books. Those tribe of men that live for a really long time.
Yeah.
But also the Dunedain have the power of speech like the Bene Gesserit. Yeah, Frank Herbert said that, you know, Bene Gesserit in the books can physically force people, you know, in the movie they're like, give me the water. But even in our world today, people control each other with words all the time. You can make somebody angry, you know, politicians can lie and mobilize millions of people, or tell the truth and mobilize millions of people. I don't fucking know, but our words have power, and still I wish I could, you know, maybe I'll try practicing my Jedi mind tricks of literally just telling somebody that they don't have to do this or they can do that or whatever, because I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think about that with like with sales. Like, I'm trying to think. I got upsold the other day on a taco. Like, so I was at Edley's barbecue and I was getting some brisket tacos and the guy was like, do you want 2 or 3? And I was like, I want 2. And he was like, man, for real? Come on. And I was like, I'm going to get 3. And I thought about that and I was like, huh. I went in there wanting 2 tacos. But that guy made me think that I really wanted 3. And there's these, like, inner workings that happen, I think, within us all of, like, wanting to, like... Or for me, I want to know what the right thing to do is. I want to make the right decision just because that's kind of how I roll. I'm, like, kind of anxious in that way. But there's also this inner, like, social desire to be accepted by other humans or to, like... be cool with other humans. So like whenever someone suggests that you want something, then there's the like, oh, okay, like I want to like please that person in a way. I don't know. So it's like I don't want to disappoint this guy that like really wants me to get a 3rd taco. I'm just gonna fucking go for it. But I think we do have so much power. Like there's a good chance that if you tell somebody to do something, that they'll do it. Obviously not with everyone, but if a 16-year-old. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, actually, that's not true. You couldn't have told me to do fucking shit when I was a 16-year-old, but if you told me in the right way, I would.
Yeah.
And Moangus knows the way.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you want to... Well, it's already dark, but he's literally grooming him.
Yeah. So much predatory... Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
people are
him.
tools. Nair wet his lips when asked what he wants by Moangus. He says, to become a great chieftain of the people. Those words, those heartbreaking words. And then Moangus is like, you and me, ride or die.
Yeah.
Baby boy.
We'll do it. We're friends. We'll go.
And then only months later, his father Sciotha was dead, and Nair was chieftain. Moangus got Nair's mother pregnant, who had a blonde baby, and then I think it didn't say she was either beaten to death or she was strangled.
So
shit gets flipped real quick.
There's a real record scratch moment. It's like
at this moment he knew he had fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it says 2 seasons later, the other woman strangled his mother for giving birth. Very sad. And then they raised her corpse on the vulture poles.
I missed that, dude.
The Sclavindi frequently, apparently, use vulture poles.
Is that what you texted me the other day? There's a bird on a pole behind you?
No, it was that picture. Did you see the picture?
I did, but I already forgot.
Book? It just says, like, there's a bird on your head.
Okay.
And it just made me think of the, whatever.
Yeah, no, of course.
I thought it was a funny joke. I reposted it in the Discord.
It's not you, it's me. The memory thing.
That's okay, dude.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, I'm a convince the son. F you, Funky the mom, and kill the dude.
Yeah, he really went balls out.
He did. And then he goes. Then Nayor kind of snaps back to the present moment, right?
Yeah.
So Nayor is considering whether he should use the son to find the father, or even if he can, if he can not be manipulated by aPODcalypse. And one of the interesting things that he thinks of is, would it provide an answer to the whirlwind, or would it merely redouble his fury? I just think it's interesting that he thinks of the plight with Moengus as a whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
And, would it provide an answer to the whirlwind?
Yeah.
In the end, there was a big whirlwind that destroyed the whole world.
Yeah, and he faces it down.
Yeah.
But he sees nothing.
Yeah.
And his phallus gets ripped into sand, or what is it? I don't know. His skin is flayed with this whipping sand or something like that. Very cool. There's also a short aside where it talks about Nayor experiencing a whirlwind as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Skilvendi worship, I think they called it the dead god. They worship the no god.
Yeah.
Who, doesn't he say? He tells Kellis, the god that your people killed so long ago.
Yeah. Which I completely missed that on the first read.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known. Well,
I had no idea.
I think we would have known what it meant anyway.
True.
I didn't end up taking notes for a lot of this, but I think it's a lot of Nayor internally agonizing.
There's a lot of it. Yeah, I didn't underline a ton because it is a lot of that back and forth.
There's a question of whether or not Kellis is a witch.
Yeah, I thought that too. I underlined that.
Yeah?
He's a witch.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they call the Bene Gesserit in Dune.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, you fucking call any woman a witch as a way to put her down throughout history, or probably even now.
Right.
I don't think it hits as hard now.
Probably not.
But
depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah. But like, he has this supernatural power that people can't place.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's not literally a witch or a wizard or a sorcerer yet.
Nope.
Yeah, and Madness mentions the Kore. Nayor throws the spear with the Kore on it at him, and I think it says he picks it out of the air, kind of like he picked the arrow out of the air in the prologue.
Like he catches it says he catches it like he caught a fly.
Right.
In the air.
You think he caught it with his two little fingers?
Maybe.
With chopsticks?
Miyagi'd it.
Yeah.
Is that movie really racist?
I don't know. I haven't actually seen it. I just,
just
know about it.
Yeah. Probably it's really racist.
Probably, but they taught us to sweep the leg.
True.
And what could we do without that?
Science would not have progressed this far. We would have never gotten the James Webb telescope without that movie.
The James Carr telescope.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving along. Kellis is chained up, and then Nayor finally works up the nerve to go talk to him. He says, "My wives tell me you've
My wife.
My wife.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about that.
You've learned our language with a swiftness that's mad. Mad. Yeah. There's you want to talk about your mad?
Sure. I just learned this yesterday. There's a movement of people and of trying to rename mental illness and stuff like that, just self-identifying as mad, which I thought is both funny and kind of cool.
Yeah.
instead of calling yourself or whatever mentally ill or neurodivergent or disabled or whatever, there's now mad studies departments in certain colleges and shit like that. So words.
Yeah.
But as somebody that struggles with depression and anxiety, calling myself mad sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Although I think most people still think that it means angry.
Yeah, true.
And yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like, I don't know. I like it. It's cool.
Reminds me of these nuts.
Yeah.
Nair is Borat confirmed, Keltron. my prize.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, Madness says Mentat styles. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Total Mentat vibes.
Good point.
And then he says Anisi sounds like a ride or die, and that's 100%. Anisi's cool.
Yeah, she does not get any credit.
No.
Well, she's the only one that listens to him, deals with him crying.
Yeah, I was gonna say she does get kind of some because Nayor fucking loves her.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real weeper about her.
And sometimes, even when he beats her, he questions why.
How charitable.
It says, what moved my hand to strike her?
What a progressive Skilvendi.
Dude, he's a male feminist.
He's on the cutting edge of first wave Skilvendi feminism.
Deals with Nair crying is a unique way for me to say deals with that.
Oh man, of course the credit that Anisi gets is like taking care of a man's emotions.
Yeah.
In this world.
Maybe perhaps making the rabbit and wild onion stew.
Oh dude, yeah, what the fuck? Know that each night I will use the entrails of a hare to decide whether I shall let you live. What the fuck does that mean?
I think it's some more Skilvendi culture, like sick divination stuff.
I know, it's cool.
There's a lot of hares, but I guess that's what they're eating for
every
dinner.
night?
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna cook them. You gotta use every part of the bison.
That's true. I just thought that was very funny.
I wonder how they tell.
I don't know. I feel like I could predict some shit with some entrails.
We should start throwing some entrails at each other.
That'd be cool.
See what happens.
Throw the number sticks.
Yeah.
Kill the wolf. Kill the wolf, baby. Yeah. Alright, so they're just going back and forth, Naor and the Kellis, and I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously there's more than that, but...
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a war of, well, in a way it's a war of words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a war of words, it's a war of restricting words.
Yep.
And even stopping thoughts. Like a couple of times, Naor, towards the end of the chapter, he like realizes he's thinking, and he stops himself from thinking. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's funny. Jeff says that Kellis can't read his mind, stay random.
Right.
But he does act as if maybe he can read his mind.
Kellis?
No, Nair.
Yeah.
Like stopping thoughts and stuff. I mean, Kellis can glean information from facial expressions and micro expressions and shit, so maybe stopping thoughts like actually helps.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Naor like baffles Kellis a little.
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed that. I liked it the first time reading this through, but also more now because I'm not the biggest Kellis fan, but just having somebody finally, like, he doesn't put up a huge fight or a successful fight against Kellis, but there is resistance there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just own him in 2 seconds like Lewith.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Naor and Kellis are like could even be considered contemporaries or like peers at this point.
Yeah.
Because they even like throw down at the end or at some point, right? Like they have a fight. Yeah. And they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, but Kellis wins.
Yeah.
By, I think, holding him over a cliff by his neck.
Yeah.
But,
that would be cool to talk about.
Yeah. And then he also cucks him hard.
Yeah, he does. And Naor kind of changes from that point, honestly.
Yeah.
He gets more weepier and weepier.
Yeah.
And the inverse of that.
Unweepy? His eyes draw in moisture.
That's how he drinks.
Kellis smacks him like a child. Perhaps I've got my memory is wrong.
Oh.
They are playing Benjuka across the trackless steppe.
Kelpfron with the metaphysics.
Oh shit, yeah. He says that Kellis and Nier have the same patron in the outside, Ajokli. Yeah. I think there's also a scene where Gilgaol possesses Nair at one point. I think maybe even where he starts fucking the ground, but I can't remember.
When does he fuck the ground?
Hopefully soon.
Can't be soon enough.
I think it's in the Warrior Prophet, but someone will know. Yeah, there's this, what do they call it? Fencing little duel, trying to figure out as much information from the other without revealing stuff. I mean, it's mostly from Nair's point of view, so we see what his thoughts are and his I don't know, doubts and reservations and everything are way more than Kellis's, but they keep going back and forth and back and forth. Getting to, do you want to just jump to the
when they leave?
Darkness part?
Yeah.
Darkness that comes before.
Oh Lord. Yeah, let's get it, dude.
Well, I think that this is where it really lays out the philosophical argument of the series, or this book for sure, but of the Dunyain. Kellis gives one of those sort of exposition dumps in a way to us, the readers, but is also not like something outrageous to be said in conversation with Nair. That every man I've met, I understand him better than he understands himself, because I have been bred, because I have been trained, because I am one of the conditioned. I am Dunyain. All of you, your kinsmen, your wives, your children, even your foes beyond the mountains, cannot see the true sources of their thoughts and deeds. Either they assume they're the origin, or they think it lies somewhere beyond the world, in the outside, as I've heard it called, metaphysical outside. What comes before you, what truly determines your thoughts and deeds, is either missed altogether, or is attributed to gods and demons. What comes before determines what comes after, Kellis continued. For the Dunyain, there's no higher principle. Question I've had a lot is, what the fuck is the coming before stuff? Because it's, in a way, it's because my brain is not as big and is a little more smooth than I'd prefer it to be, but I'm like, you know, we've said before that a lot of this stuff sounds really smart and we have no idea what it means. But Nair literally asks, and just what comes before? And he tries to force a sneer, it says. I think he's like kind of calling him out on what I perceive as like cult leader shit, where someone talks about manifesting your authentic self too much, and you're like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah.
But Kellis says, for men, what comes before is history, language, passion, custom. All these things determine what men say, think, and do. They are the hidden puppet strings from which all men hang. And when the strings are seen, and then Nair finishes, they may be seized.
Yeah.
Did I just tire you out?
No.
It's nap time.
It's interesting. It's all cool. Like, I think all of this, from my, like, the experience that I have as a, like, Buddhist practitioner, which I don't really identify as Buddhist anymore, but, like, all the meditation retreats I've been on, all the, like, early Buddhist texts I've studied or whatever, I don't know, it's very similar. Like, I think one of the goals of insight meditation is to experience the arising of phenomenon and not immediately identifying with them. Like, you know, So like experiencing the rising and falling of the breath and knowing that it's actually an automatic action of, it's like an extension of what is already available in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like actual self that's attached to it. It's just a process. And so like instead of thinking to myself, I am hearing that sound, it's just hearing. Like there's no sound there, it's just hearing. And so whenever we understand that there's no sound, then we understand that we are not separate from that sound. So there's like a connection there, and it can make you feel connected to the universe and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But supposedly can make you not suffer as much about things because you're not quite as attached to things as like mine. But I don't know. And I think karma, like the darkness that comes before, makes me just think about karma. Like we are the forerunners of our, like we create our futures based on the actions that we do right now. And what we are experiencing now is conditioned based off of what happens in the past. Like all of the societal conditioning that I received as like a man or a white man, it informs the things that I do in my relationships and, you know, my day-to-day shit. So I think what Kellis is saying is very true, but I think that it's not as big of a deal as he is making it out to be.
Dude, great monologue. I love the moments of Brian laying down some deep lore, let's say.
Sick.
Worldly lore.
World lore.
World Lore 1.
Nice.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know personally in my own life. I don't know how much I really care if I know why I'm doing stuff.
Right.
I definitely do to some extent, and you know, I've been to the meditation center many times, and you know, read some Buddhist stuff, but at a certain point, I don't feel like I need to be a self-moving soul.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like a slave. I don't know. And I don't think these books are saying that the Dunyin is the way to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the right way to be. You know, I think I've said before, but I really dig the Kisharam and their identification with the water and being their passion and their emotion and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how that fits in, but to Bakker's worldview, I guess, because those are opposite sides. I guess I don't know how averse to reason and logic the Kisharam are, but the Dunyin are not about feeling anything.
No.
Yeah, they're just perceiving,
right,
not feeling.
Which I think is a handicap for them, or as far as the like efficacy of their whole vibe, their whole thing, like what they believe in. I think to remove passion makes it less important, or make it less applicable in this world. I mean, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really. It's like nihilist dharma or something.
Yeah.
We have so much chat. Like, people will probably know so much more about this. What we got going on here?
Jeff says that it's the best line of the series, and if you drop that line on a stranger, they'll think you're deep as fuck. Yeah,
Which one is?
I don't know. I mean, I can't remember when you said that. I would assume it's what comes before determines what comes after, and there's no higher principle, but... Oh. Or is it the strings? They're hidden puppet strings from which all men hang, and when strings are seen, they may be seized. Yeah, that is sick. I also do vibe with a lot of what Kellis is saying. I think that I'm kind of trying to play devil's advocate because of just how I feel about the characters, but I really do agree with a lot of this philosophy.
I do too.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wonder where passion and emotion come into it all.
Yeah. I think like just wisdom and insight, but also connection and listening to others too. Because, yeah, whenever we do become like prisoners to our emotions or to our passions, then that becomes a problem. But with just like a mild amount of awareness whenever a passion arises. If it's like a wholesome passion that's going to lead to like happiness or more generosity or connection or whatever, then we can continue to cultivate that. But if a passion arises and it's like anger, then the ability to not become that anger and to be like, I'm angry, I'm an angry person, I've always been angry, to get really wrapped up and identified with it is a problem. So to be able to be like, anger is arising, but that's not me, then that's like rad. Mm-hmm. And that's the shortest path to liberation or like whatever. It's like, it's fucking over. It's easy.
It's the golden shower.
It's a golden shower. But Druid says the darkness that comes before, the relationship between the id, ego, and superego, and how it relates with society and culture. I think that's very astute as well.
Yeah.
You could fucking write a whole dissertation about that.
Pink Freud. Mm-hmm. Kellis himself is hanging from hidden puppet strings.
That's fucking right. He's not all that.
In a bag of chips.
In a bag of chips, man.
Or in a big pot of soup.
Yeah.
The witches are always making some soup.
Kelpron says it's like New Game Plus. LOL, it really is. See a lot of truth in Kellis's words. Jeff says, yes. They may be seized.
Right.
Jeff says, I mean, we are all white 30-something males of maybe mid-class Christian Americans. I think I'm confused by that statement. What do you think about that statement?
I think that he's saying those are the strings that hold us in certain ways. I mean, I definitely think that I have been conditioned in ways in which I may never notice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Or that I might be like vaguely aware of, but I don't know when they pop up or how they drive me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing to be aware of the string, or to know there are strings, but to be able to see them, I think, is like maybe another step too. Mm-hmm. It is interesting, and yeah, I think that trying to cut those strings is a path to liberation and reducing harm in the world, but I don't know exactly how to do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's one string, because black people aren't into fantasy novels, and I don't know why. That's very interesting. Yeah, I guess, like, the stereotype of, like, the fantasy, like, long-haired, kind of, like, bald, long-haired white guy that listens to metal music and likes to play Dungeons and Dragons is kind of... Well, and, like, I was thinking about it, all of the sci-fi and, like, fantasy and stuff I've read is pretty much always written by a white man.
Yeah.
Except for Ursula Le Guin, who's a white woman.
Yeah.
She's white, right?
Yeah.
But
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I think Octavia Butler, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Octavia Butler is dope. She's an outlier.
Yeah, she's a black woman. Mm-hmm. But, and she wrote, I believe, Parable of the Sower. Is that the one? Mm-hmm. I read that. I think it counts as sci-fi or something, but it seemed more like speculative. She just saw how 2020 was. Yeah. And then wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure that there's more, there's a lot of like, yeah, non-white man, good fantasy and sci-fi and everything. I don't know why it's not a thing in black culture as much. Something to look into.
Yeah.
Druid's talking about how he is making a 3D environment of Golgotha in his spare time.
And he's from Brazil.
Oh, no way.
He said, checkmate, atheists. Damn!
Suck on that.
Suck on that, atheists. But join the Discord and lurk or participate at Woodge Road. You come here fucking everything up, Jeff said. And he's making Golgotha. Now that I finished this series, I'm planning to make tons of fan art. Oh, hell yeah, man. We're just getting started.
Epic, yeah. We just woke up. Or you just woke up? I've been up.
Uh-huh. That's awesome.
Or, what's the other one? You might have been born yesterday, but I stayed up all night. Mm-hmm. Man, this shouts out CJ Cherry, maybe? Kelp Finland.
Finland.
Very cool.
Is Kelp from Finland?
Perhaps he just likes the word Finland.
True.
No, I mean, I would guess.
Also, we're definitely assuming that everyone's a he, I feel like. A
Yeah,
lot.
let us know if we are misgendering you.
We don't want to do that.
But, those are strings.
Yeah, there's lots of strings. We can try and untangle some strings in this podcast with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Helpfront is from Finland.
Very cool.
Excellent.
The Fated Sun trilogy, is that CJ Cherry?
By a woman.
Madness, I will try my best to not perceive you in the future. Because I know how perception is uncomfortable.
It burns me like a vampire to the sun.
Uh-huh. Not one of those sparkly Twilight vampires.
Yeah.
So, made me think of, I think I sent that thing to you, and God, I don't even remember where it was, but in another culture, when a woman is giving birth, the man is supposed to climb up in the rafters of their house with a string tied to their balls, so when the woman has pain, they can yank the ball string and cause the husband pain, so they share together in the suffering of birth.
Dude, that's so wild.
Yeah.
It's like pre-industrial morphine drip for a woman. For the person giving birth. Oh.
Let's see, Jeff talks about Zayum.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because Bakker has made the most human black civilization I've ever seen. They thrive, kill, and do their own thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, I don't, like, it's hard for me to talk about that because I don't want to be culturally incompetent, but I feel like probably, like, I don't know, people would have potentially portrayed Zayum as, like, honestly, maybe more like the Skilvindia, like less, I don't fucking know.
More barbaric?
More like barbaric or bestial or whatever, but yeah, Zayum is like fucking in it. Like they're right up in there, like prospering and everything. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, totally. Just there's so many black cultures in the world of Yarwa, which, like, I don't know, is dope. And I don't always picture people as the actual skin colors they are depicted in the books because of my prejudices, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I do try to be annoying and point out when people are suggesting what actors would play each character to be like, yo, this guy's black, this guy's black.
Yeah. They're like, Brad Pitt should really...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put him in blackface. I'm sure that's a great idea.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out Zaranga.
Dude, shout out Zaranga.
Oh, yeah. Lucaro.
Lucaro.
Dude, I don't know about Lucaro. Maybe Lucaro is, like, actually really chill, and it's just Malawebi who's fucking a hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curse Lucaro.
I think that we might want to start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
It mentions again just of Kellis's worldview. Kellis does not see faces.
Mm-hmm.
He saw 44 muscles across bone and the thousands of expressive permutations that might leap from them.
Mm-hmm. So that's the whole, like, I keep on talking about Buddhism, but,
They're
like,
good.
you know Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't see the motorcycle, you see the parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole concept of motorcycle drops.
Patricia
would say, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Banda says, how does the chapter end?
I don't know, man.
So let's get going. Let's get going.
If all men are ignorant of the origins of their thoughts, then all men are deceived. They act for reasons that are not their own. Nair spits a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to... It says something that one of his comments provoked nothing but a scoff and spit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy spitting as an emotional response.
Same.
I kind of like to try it. Although, maybe it's a waste of water. But I'm very water fat.
Yeah.
I would be a terrible Fremen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Kellis is like, I'm gonna own this dude. Like, one way or another, I'm gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
Nair's trust would eventually be secured, be it the trust of contempt or the trust of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Kellis kind of switches up his styles during the process when they leave.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I should try to manipulate or do this, and he eventually lands on just being honest.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think the biggest truth he shares is Nair is interrogating him about why he's ventured out to find his father.
Mm-hmm.
And Kellis is mostly honest, but still avoiding sort of the point. And Kellis is like, my father needs me, that's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Needs you for what? My father's at war. He calls, what father fails to call on his son in times of war? And he's like, well, you're gonna go kill your dad,
mm-hmm.
so...
Yeah, he says, one who numbers his son among his enemies.
Yeah. And if, like, Kellis knows that he needs to go assassinate his dad obviously knows that Kellis is gonna come to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
He broke their whole anonymity.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Nair's like, at war against whom? And Kellis goes, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For an instant, he almost looked forlorn, like a man who'd wagered all in the shadow of disaster, which is possibly manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some truth to that response, though.
I think so, too, yeah. It's like a little shining out of Kellis's vulnerability, or just kind of the chaos that he's still part of.
Yeah.
He doesn't have complete control.
He's got the darkness is shining through the cracks.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
And he really doesn't know who, I mean, well,
no.
Yeah, we're saying he's telling the truth, but he literally doesn't know who Mo Angus is warring against.
Right. Yep. And so he says, pity. He seeks to elicit pity from a Skilvindi. That's what Nair thinks to himself,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was funny. He almost laughs. Perhaps I have overestimated. But again, his instincts save him. That's what I think is cool. Like, he's thinking, perhaps I have overestimated, and then he realizes he's thinking and stops himself.
His instincts saved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're eating some herbs, and then the Dunyan thinks to himself, wait, he stares impassively at the Dunyan as he chewed, and Nair thinks, he wants me to think he's weak. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the end.
That's the end. He's been trying to give off that vibe a lot. I mean, because of being the bound and beaten,
mm-hmm.
loose-boweled prisoner. You know, he's
well-spoken,
prisoner. Yeah, politely
respectful.
But Nair sees through all his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a chapter!
Great chapter.
He really went there.
He went there. Let me catch up on the chat here.
Yeah.
Jeff says, my favorite part of Warrior Prophet is when Kellis meets a black samurai and kicks dirt in the face and kicks a dirt in his face and kills him. It was so anticlimactic. I love it. I'm going to have to fucking pay attention when that happens because I have no recollection of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. It sounds like, I haven't watched it, but have you heard of One Punch Man?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it just sounds like someone's so overpowered that Kellis is so overpowered that it's like pointless and like not even worth it. I don't know. It kind of gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
Shout out to water. I really like fuzzy water, fizzy water.
Salt King always comes in with the devious licks. He hasn't said anything, and then he just said, Hydro homies unite.
Oh man, the house I'm dog sitting at tomorrow doesn't have ice trays.
Ah.
I feel like this just like, why?
Yeah.
Mr. No Ice.
I haven't even ever wanted ice.
Mm-hmm.
But lots of people do.
Oh yeah, you're a room temp guy.
I'm a Mr. No Ice. Through and through.
I'm Mr. Cool Ice.
Uh-huh.
You seen that picture of the guy with the tattoos, Mr. Cool Ice?
Uh-huh.
I'll find it for the screen next time.
Yeah.
Kellis uses honesty as a weapon. Yeah, he definitely does.
He sure does.
Oh yeah, right. We kind of missed that, but Kellis tries to go to the trackless step metaphor, and Nair catches him. He's like, I heard that shit and it worked on me last time. And he's like, fuck you. Basically, like, how dare you? That's when you talk shit on your family and then someone else says something and you're like, you can't talk about my family like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's just like the trackless step, bro. And Nair's like, Nah.
Won't work.
Not having that.
Your horns look great, Sugar, and I want my circumference necklace. I'll pay for it when you figure that out.
Down, Sugar, we're going down, I guess.
I don't understand. There's a lot I don't understand in this world. What I do understand is that our audience is delightful, thoughtful, insightful, and wonderful.
And hot.
And hot. We love y'all.
Hangs pendulous dong.
Yeah. Shining, greased.
And 12 years old. Right.
No, dude.
Now that we sexually harassed a bunch of nerdy children.
I know, like, YouTube says, is this for children whenever you're making the YouTube video? And it, like, you could forget. It, like, is default, like, yes, I think.
Uh-huh.
But it's not for children.
No. But also, it's like, I don't know. When I put up the little skateboarding thing, I was like, this isn't obscene, but it's also not for children.
Yeah. But, yeah. You have a pendulous soul.
Thank you.
Man said we have pendulous souls.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. Anything else?
No, just...
We back
next week, same time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any announcements? Any NA-related announcements? We're putting more Spotify episodes up.
Yeah, my mind's in a devilish whirlwind, but we're working on doing that.
Yeah, things are cool. We got Spotify, we got the YouTube going. It seems like more people are finding the YouTube videos and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, smash that like button with your pendulous hog.
Pendulous like button and canted subscriber. Oh, everyone's probably gone.
We figured out how to upload stuff for free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't need any money, but if you want to contribute, we have a Patreon, patreon.com.
That the link doesn't work for. Does the link work?
It works on some of the videos.
You gotta get lucky.
Yeah, we'll put it up, but no need, but if you desire...
grease that subscribe button.
Grease that subscribe button like you're trying to save yourself from damnation.
Uh-huh.
And smash that meat button with your subscribing rudiments.
Yeah. Madness says to put the link in the Discord. Okay, I will. You do the God's own work, Kama says.
The gods. The God of gods.
The God of gods.
The solitary
God. The solitaire God. Benjuka be kidding me. We gotta go, dude.
Bye, guys.
Bye, love you.
And girls and theys.
Yep. All right.
Next week.